Hello and welcome to the Bois Incorporated Podcast, episode 23. It is 23, I just checked.
Ew.
Got Nate here with me. Let's fucking get it. So, you said you had a fun fact you wanted to share with the class before we started recording.
Do. Uh, it holds no relevance to today's world whatsoever, but it blew my fucking mind
Okay.
because these two things were very, very important when I
Okay.
was growing up.
Yeah.
Uh, I've been watching all the videos that, what's his nuts? Dan Povenmire posts
Oh, yeah.
on his page, and all of his videos are just talking about. Well, it's either him doing all the voices from the show
Yeah.
or him addressing weird fan mail and fan messages.
Yeah.
And
Hold on one sec. For anyone that doesn't feel like Googling it, Dan Povenmire was
oh
Dr.
shit, yeah,
Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb.
yes, and co-creator.
Yeah.
So not only that though, because this is what I just found out. Do you know what show he was one of the main writers for during like its best seasons?
I feel like I've heard him talk about this before, but I can't remember what show. And the problem is, it's like that thing where I think it's the fucking Gus Johnson video where he's like, when you ask someone to guess something, like guess what number a certain thing is, and they guess way too high and make it look stupid, like the actual answer. Because my initial thought is, if it's amazing, it's gonna be SpongeBob, but then if it's not that, then it makes it way more disappointing.
And no, it's SpongeBob.
It is. Fuck yeah.
It is.
What a
He
legend.
was the best seasons. He was the first three,
Oh
one of the main
fuck.
writers.
Yeah, that guy's fucking
Uh,
great.
and he showed a screenshot in the opening credits. His name is there.
Oh shit. Okay.
And he is the guy who wrote none other than the Campfire song.
That's a fucking great episode.
Yep.
Dude, that whole episode is fucking awesome.
He wrote that episode, including the song,
Dude, the song, the whole fucking sea bear thing.
which is definitely top three.
That's awesome. Oh yeah,
That
that's
episode.
got to be top 3 episodes of all time.
Yeah. It's that, the one where they sell the chocolate bars, and the one with the fucking Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl one was good. Fucking sweet victory. That one's pretty good. Yeah, that fucking reminded me though, because my initial thought was just give him all of the credit possible and say SpongeBob. But if it's not, and it's like something that isn't as good, it's like, oh well, that's not.
No, he's essentially God.
Yeah, I mean he's basically ascended past being human, but I mean it's like that fucking, like I said, the Gus Johnson video where he's like, dude, I just looked it up. Guess how many albums Michael Jackson sold after he died or whatever, right? And the guy's like, I don't care, just tell me. He's like, no, dude, guess. He's like, fine, 1 billion. And he's like, well, that's way too high. He's like, now the real number looks insignificant.
Right.
It's like, because it's not 1 billion, it's like 30 million or something, and it's like,
Yeah,
just
that's a weird thing too. I have no concept of numbers.
yeah, yeah, but it just makes whatever you're guessing seem stupid. Like, what is it, a
Yeah.
billion? It's like, no, it's like 20 million, and it's like, oh, okay. Well, like the only way it can be fun is if someone underestimates it instead of overestimates it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was funny. It's gonna be sort of hard to relate to like this, but it was sort of a. I was talking to Logan about Logan being my brother for people that are unaware. I was talking to him about this one Smite pro player that he likes, and I was watching, and they were going over his stats before he had a game start, and they were talking about his kill to death to assist ratio, and basically they're like, yeah, so this is how many kills and assists he gets on average for every time that he's killed or whatever, right? So obviously a higher number here is good. And I was like, all right, guess what this dude's KDA is? And he goes, okay, I'm gonna guess he's like pretty good. I'm gonna say 4. And I was like, well, keep in mind it also means assists, right? So that's gonna boost the number way higher. He's like, yeah, you're right. Okay, 6. I was like, no. He's like, really? It's not 6? I was like, no, it's higher. He's like, oh. Is it 10? I was like, no, no, keep going. He's like, it's more than 10. Yes. 15. No, more. 20? And it's, no. How much? 28. He's like, what the fuck? But that's the only time that can be good, is when it's like going up incrementally and you're like, all right, keep going, keep going. So, I mean, that's just like, I don't know. So I feel like we should probably get to what the meat of this episode is going to be now. So
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard anything about it, but I believe a week ago, roughly like a week or two ago. Do you know who EDP445 is?
Who?
EDP445.
I do, and yes, I did hear about this.
You did hear about this. Okay, great.
Yep.
How much do you know
There was
about
a
it?
certain quote that did not age well.
Oh, a certain quote.
Yeah.
Which quote? The
Quote exactly. He said, well, he's a.
what's up? I think you're like cutting out or something.
A sex offender now? Oh, shit.
Sort of. No, you might be fine. Um.
It's a kid?
Yeah, kinda, yeah. So, yeah, for you and everyone in the audience, I can give a brief rundown about what's happened thus far because I've been keeping up with it. All right, we're recording again. Sorry about that. Had some Discord issues. So, let me just circle back to what I was saying, where I'm gonna have to like awkwardly cut this in at some point. Hopefully, it doesn't go too poorly. But so EDP outed as kind of being a pedophile.
Yeah.
So
I don't know the full story. I saw a meme. He had some quote about a kid. I forget what the quote was.
okay.
And it was that John Tron picture. Yeah, that did not age quite so well.
Oh yeah.
So I just kind of connected the dots. I don't really know the full story.
All right. So all right. Here's like the main takeaways. Right. So two main players here. We have EDP445, which obviously everyone knows stands for Eat Dat Pussy 445.
What else would it stand for?
Exactly. Well, I mean, actually, everyone has now been making jokes about what that means. Because now that text log has been handed over to the police, people are theorizing that this whole time it's actually meant entering Dat prison, but
I like it.
that's for later. So, apart from that, we have Chet Goldstein, who also goes by Alex, and he's sort of the really trying to be Chris Hansen, but like also be a stand-up comedian at the same time, edgy persona guy who ended up making this whole thing happen in the first place. So there had been rumors for a while that EDP was a pedophile, but none of them could really stick. A lot of them had like some evidence, but there wasn't a whole lot, and he could always hide behind like, oh no, I was trolling, haha. And it's like,
Right.
okay, well, I mean, I don't think Poe's law is a very good defense, but there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So, whatever, right? So, Chet Goldstein, doing his series on exposing pedophiles, decides to create an Instagram account for a 13-year-old girl and hit up EDP and try to incriminate him, basically. Or get him to incriminate himself, rather.
Right.
So here's the weird thing, right? Chet Goldstein, this is going to be important later, Chet Goldstein swears that all of the pictures he used in populating the account and sending EDP pictures when he asked for them were from a real 13-year-old. Like,
What the fuck?
he claims that, like, no, these were all an actual 13-year-old decoy that I have sent those pictures to me, and then I put them on the Instagram page, right? So he's basically saying, like, no, she's actually 13. All of the pictures I used were of a 13-year-old. Which, I heard some people already saying doing something like that is a felony.
Right? How could it
But
not be?
yeah, yeah, it's well. I mean, I don't think the 13-year-old sent any nudes or anything, but it's still you're still trying to
Oh,
bait. You're still trying to bait
I thought
somebody
you meant
like.
like pictures.
Nah, it wasn't nudes. I think it was just like
Okay, good.
selfies, where it was like, oh, she has selfies on her page, and
Just
he's
to
like,
prove it was.
yeah, exactly. Be like,
Yeah.
hey, prove that it's you and not some random stock image bitch. Send me a picture of you with a spoon on your head or something. And then he's like, hey, decoy, go put a spoon on your head, take a selfie, and then send it to me. And then I'll send it to him. And he's like, wow, you must be real. So, but I believe that is, I've heard some people saying it's still a felony. I'm not sure exactly what charge that would even be, but that's what I've heard. It may or may not be illegal. That remains to be seen. But he sort of swears by that, right? So he has this conversation with EDP, and the conversation alone is there's so much in there. There are so many weird details in there. Like, okay, in a typical like To Catch a Predator chat log, there's usually a lot of like dirty talk between both of them, and then usually the dude sends some dick pics, which EDP did, I believe. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's at least one or two dick pics in there. But it gets weirder than that. That's not the weirdest picture that he sent.
Oh, good.
Like, how do you get even weirder than sending a 13-year-old girl a picture of your dick? EDP finally cracked the code. The way to be weirder than that is send her a picture of your own shit. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know why he did it. He did, though.
Okay.
I think he was telling her about it and then just sent her a picture of it. So, you know, dudes listening, take notes. That's what girls love. That's how you slide into a girl's DMs. Just hit her with the unsolicited picture of your own shit.
Jesus.
Dude, yeah, what a fucking savage, bro. Like, amazing. So that's the level we're operating on now. He sent lots of selfies of himself too that have now been taken out of context, where it's like it's just him at night and the lighting is terrible because it's just the flash on his phone and he's like in his bed and he just looks like a creature, which I'm sure is going to be part of the thumbnail. Which I have an elaborate joke for the thumbnail. It's not elaborate, but I have a joke for the thumbnail that I've already thought of, and I don't know how eye-catching it's going to be, but I kind of like the concept too much not to do it.
Okay. Follow your dreams.
Exactly. So, EDP, he's talking to this decoy, and this decoy's like, hey, let's meet up. And he's like, all right, sweet. So then Chet Goldstein, having actually been the decoy account, decides to live stream EDP showing up to the place and then interviewing him. Keep in mind, that means that Chet Goldstein had time to prepare for it. It happened at the time he decided, and he was given days of notice beforehand that it was going to happen. He was so unprepared. Like, it's clear watching the interview that the only thing he prepared were, like, really stupid quips. Like, really stupid jokes to drop mid-interview.
When you're catching a pedophile, that's of the utmost importance.
Yeah, like, here's the thing, right? Like, I think the problem is he watched an episode of To Catch a Predator, and it was one where Chris Hansen was being particularly snarky and just decided, yeah, I'll do that. I'll just be really charismatic about it. And it's like, here's the thing. The Chris Hansen jokes weren't ever actually funny. They were just so corny, but you couldn't be mad because he was out here getting pedophiles arrested that you're like, all right, you're allowed to make a few dad jokes in the process.
Right.
And you can sometimes laugh at how bad they are, but they weren't ever, like, just straight up flops, you know what I mean? Like, especially because they were very sparing. Like, it was obvious that Chris Hansen was there to interview a pedophile and maybe have some one-liners in there. This dude did it in reverse, where he's like, wouldn't it be funny if I made some jokes while interviewing a pedophile? So they start interviewing him, and he like barely had any fucking actual questions prepared. He had another YouTuber with him who I think is not was not as bad, but was still kind of weird. I think his name is CC Unit, but he was doing better, but it still wasn't good. What he was like, he was still doing a really shit job. It was just standing next to Chet Goldstein. He was kind of carrying the team. Like, it was making him look better by comparison. So I just watched the interview again before we started recording, and oh my god, is it bad. Like, they show up and they have the most fucking ramshackle recording setup where it's CC Unit is wearing a weird, like, seatbelt GoPro attachment on his chest. And they have a camera guy that's just recording on his fucking cell phone.
Horizontal or vertical?
Horizontal.
Okay.
But
Slightly
it's like,
better.
yeah, but it's like, dude, you had days in advance to know that you were recording, you were gonna be live streaming this, and you didn't even fucking bring a camera. You're doing it off your smartphone. Like,
Yeah, not great.
yeah, it's like, why would you? It's not like he just randomly showed up here and like, oh shit, quick, start recording. It was like, all right, we're gonna go here and set up an ambush for him. Like, you couldn't even bring a camera. You brought a cell phone and a GoPro. Okay. They had that and the fucking chat logs printed out, and that was about all of the prep they did, other than some absolutely fucking knee slapper one-liners. A lot of them were just, a lot of what Chet Goldstein was doing was just asking, essentially, why are you a pedophile? A lot of them were just like, why are you attracted to 13-year-old girls? And EDP did a really shit job of defending himself. Like, he was coming out here and just saying basically yes to every question. He's like, are you attracted to underage girls? And he's just like, correct. And it's like, bro, you can't just... What? You can't just be like, yes. This isn't that fucking...
My favorite.
Yeah, this isn't that fucking... The Virgin versus Chad meme. You can't just be like, yes, and just let that stand. There are some times when that's okay. This is not one of those times. Like, really consider what you're about to say. I mean, I don't know if he knew if it was live or not, but still. Like, you're still being filmed, obviously. This dude's wearing a fucking GoPro. Like, the whole thing is just a total shit show. A lot of what Chet Goldstein was doing was basically just he would ask him some sort of question and then say, yeah, but you can't do X, literally and figuratively, which he was going for this weird double entendre thing where he's saying, like, in the metaphysical, it's like, for instance, it's like, oh, you can't run away from this problem. So it's like, oh, you know, you can't just not pay attention to it and hope it'll go away. But then he goes, also, literally you can't, because he's calling him fat, which I'm not opposed to a good fat joke, but, like, listen. Maybe
Try a little bit.
Yeah, maybe try a little harder, and also, maybe the pedophile sting isn't the best place for it. Like,
Yeah.
there's, like, come on, man, at least make it about catching a pedophile and not just, like, making fun of this dude. Because, like, it was way more interesting to me watching To Catch a Predator, like, hearing what the pedophiles had to say for themselves, like, being caught.
Right.
It's like, Chris Hansen was never like, yeah, you're fat, haha, got him. He was like, he would just guilt trip them. He'd be like, were you really about to have sex with a 13-year-old? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this is who you are, this is what you're doing. You're this guy. And some of them were totally that guy, but... My favorite, though, is there's a point on the live stream where it seems to me like they forgot that they were live streaming, and it looked like they were just gonna try to fucking blackmail him. Like, it seems like they were about to just try to fucking blackmail him into doing something. I'm not even sure what, because they start asking him questions, and they're like, you know, we have the chat logs and whatever, like, you know, why shouldn't we send this to police? Why shouldn't we send this to the police or the sheriffs, right? Like, what can you do to stop us from doing that? And he's like, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't, what do you want from me? I was like, are they about to be like, give us $50,000 and we won't send it? Like, what is the, why is that the line of questioning? Why shouldn't we send this to the police? Like maybe if you're trying to extort him, that's okay, but that's not really. That's a really shitty look when you're supposed to be the good guy.
Yeah.
Chris Hansen was never like, all right, if you don't have to go to jail if you do me a favor. Like, it was never like that. He was just like, yeah, you're probably gonna have to go to prison now for being a fucking creep.
Fucking scumbag, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. My favorite though is right after they talk about him, like them sending all that material to the police. Then, for some reason, they decided the obvious line of questioning here would be, what does EDP stand for, like the acronym? Which, I mean, everyone watching already knows that anyway. Kind of a stupid question. Like, he's said it many times. It's not like it's a secret. It's not like you've somehow cracked the code. And I suspect the only reason they asked that was so that Chet could hit a hilarious one-liner. Like, they're like, you know, what is...
Lay it on me.
What's up?
Lay it on me.
Okay, so they're like, EDP, what does that stand for? And he said, eat that pussy. And then he gives the explanation of why he chose that or whatever, right? He's like, oh, something with my first profile picture or whatever. Not really relevant. But then they're like, they then quickly segued it into what would happen when you go to prison, because then, you know, you're going to have other inmates coming up to you being like, hey, what are you in for? And then you'll be like, being a pedophile. And then they'll, like, beat the shit out of you, basically. That's where they started taking the interview. And then Chet Goldstein decides the thing that he needs to say to get the crowd on his side is, yeah, when you get to prison, EDP445, yeah, they're going to be eating that boy pussy 445 times.
What the fuck? Got him, I guess.
He literally said that. Dude, when I woke up today, I was not expecting to hear those words. What the, like, bro, what is that even? Where are you going with it? Why? Why did you... I only have questions for you. What the fuck, guy? Come on. You can't just do that.
God dear.
Yeah, I mean, what a great comedian. But just pick, like, are you doing a serious interview or are you just roasting him? Because if you were roasting him, it seems like a lot of effort to go to fucking catfish him into meeting you so you can just be like, haha, eat that boy pussy, haha, got him. Like,
I still don't understand it fully.
No, it still doesn't even make sense, but like...
Okay.
I mean, it's so bad because clearly he's been thinking about all of these roasts for a while. Like, he's pulling them all out of his pocket. Like, none of them are just on the spot. It's really sad to watch. It is a whole fucking thing. So then, I mean, and the thing is, the other dude that was with him, that was wearing the fucking GoPro fucking CC unit, was like, he was doing this whole fucking, you know, he was basically trying to carry the whole interview, and he was clearly not on the same page as Chet Goldstein here. Like, they were clearly doing two different interviews or something. Because a lot of his questions did boil down to, why are you a pedophile? How many times have you done this? That kind of thing. But some of them were alright, and he's basically asking him, like, hey man, do you think you need help, or do you think you should go to prison? Like, that sort of thing. And it's like, that could be good. But then Chet Goldstein is over here talking about, I'm going to go call the police right now and get them down here. And then EDP decided, he's like, hold on, look, here's what we can do. We can maybe work something out. I'll call up a place that could get me, like, therapy or something right now while you guys are here to see that I'm doing it. And he's like, this was like 2 minutes after CC Unit said, do you need help or something? Like, you should go reach out, get help. He's saying, like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Meanwhile, Chet Goldstein is fucking 5 feet over to his left, calling the cops on him. And then And then he starts like EDP starts walking away, and he's like, "Come on, man, I'm trying to get help." And then CC Unit is like, "Nah, bro, it's too late for that." It's like, what, 2 minutes too late? You were just offering to get like, you were just saying like, dude, now is the time to try to get help. And then 2 minutes later, you're like, "Nah, bro, we're way past that."
Yeah,
Like,
fuck you. Move my
yeah,
money.
like, bro, what changed? Like, I mean, I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see what CC Unit could have done if it was just him. Which I think that's the real moral of the story was Chet Goldstein should have just laid the fuck off because he is not like he was clearly looking for the spotlight and I think he got more than he bargained for and we're getting to that but like
Yeah.
oh boy he was not ready. So so the interview starts sort of winding down. EDP keeps walking away like he's had enough. And then he's he's going to like call his friend or whatever to get picked up. His friend's he like, "Hey man, I need a ride back" or whatever. So he's dialing the phone. He's calling his friend, and Chet is still following him, still on the phone with the local police or the sheriff or whatever. He's like, he's talking to the operator, and it's clear the operator is not having it. Like the operator is like, "I'm not sending someone over there," because the way he's phrasing it is like, "There's a guy that just admitted that he wants to have sex with a 13-year-old on camera. We have it all." It's like, okay, you want us to send a
Great.
cop down? Like, okay, so you're just raving about there's some dude here saying he wants to have sex with a 13-year-old. Like, am I really gonna waste a cop's time with that? Like, what? Why even bother? And he's like, no, just please send someone down here. And then, then EDP finally like, I think he actually, I think his friend picks up or whatever. He's like, please just send someone down here quick. I think he's calling someone. I think he's calling for backup. Like,
Pedophiles.
yeah,
Calling
exactly.
for backup.
Yeah, bro. He's trying to get the fucking pedophile Avengers to assemble around him. They're gonna come down there and beat your ass, Chet. You gotta watch out. He's calling backup. He's calling his boys, bro. When the pedophiles boys show up and just hit you with the fucking the combination attack where they're all just beating your ass on the ground, just saying sheesh, like, bro, like. I mean, like that was so funny. He's calling back. Quick, get down here. He's calling reinforcements. Like, Chet, what the fuck are you doing, man? What are you doing? Seriously, what? It's so weird to me that Chet Goldstein set up the sting, and yet he seems like he's the one that's caught off guard. Like, he was the one that was caught lacking in the situation, and he set it up and had days of time to prepare for it. And like EDP still didn't come out of it looking good because he basically just said yes to every question like he was just trying to not pick a fight or something. Which is funny because every time anyone accused him of being a pedophile, he would on video be like, "Man, fuck you. I'll fuck you up." Like, "Man, get the fuck out of here." That kind of thing, like just acting really tough, like and then as soon as he's confronted in real life face to face with someone, he's like, yes, I am attracted to 13-year-olds. Like, bro, what? Like, it's clear that the whole behind the camera thing versus on camera thing, like, it's just a tough guy persona. You're not actually tough. So, I mean, he's just, it's this whole fucking thing. But like, so he's like, he finally gets picked up and leaves. So then some more big developments come out, right? So this whole thing is still a shit show. Their live stream is up. They upload the video of the whole text conversation where everyone can see that he sent a picture of his shit to a 13-year-old because, I mean, that's a real chick magnet. Like, that's how you really just show a girl that you're a true alpha male. Is just send her a picture of your shit. But, like... So, they end up doing that. And EDP removes all of his videos from his YouTube channel. Like, he deletes all of them. So, for a solid, 3 or 4 day span there, he had, no videos, but still 2 million subscribers. And it just kind of, hovered there for a bit. So then, some more shit dropped pertaining to Chet Goldstein. So the new drama was a chat log sort of thing surfaced with Chet Goldstein, and like it was him and one of his decoys who, remember earlier, he swears is actually a 13-year-old, not a decoy, no troll. Something surfaces there, and basically, yeah, it's Chet Goldstein's DMs with his own decoy, right? And it's
Right.
really fucking weird because he's over here asking this decoy that, again, he swears is 13. He's asking her, like, yeah, I need you to send nudes because the pedophile asked for some. Like, the pedophile totally needs it. It's not for me. I mean, it's the pedophile needs it. Like, I mean, obviously I'm not asking, but like, I'm gonna need to see those titties, bitch. Like,
Jesus.
he didn't say that directly, but I'm paraphrasing. But like, so
What a
then everyone's
legend.
like, yeah, so then everyone's like, wait a minute. So is Chet Goldstein also a pedophile, or is he a liar? Because he's got to be at least one. Either she is 13 and he's a pedophile, or she's not 13 and he's just a creep. So that's
Yeah.
definitely why the thumbnail to this video is that one meme where it's both Spider-Mans pointing at each other and it's just EDP and Chet Goldstein. And it's just being a pedophile. So Chet Goldstein gets fucking outed as being possibly a pedophile. The jury is still out on that. And so at this point, EDP's channel is still barren but up. And Chet Goldstein's is still doing fine. Then a couple days go by and both channels get deleted. So it wasn't even really a win for Chet Goldstein. I'm sure he made some money very quickly, but then got his whole shit deleted. Like, I mean, I'm sure the numbers he was pulling before it got deleted were huge. So I'm sure that's great for him. The thing is, it's kind of a scumbag move that he pulled, though, because he was apparently sitting on the recording of EDP's chat log for like several days before uploading it, just waiting for it to get fully monetized before he uploaded it.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of shitbag moves on this one.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, the only person who's even remotely respectable in this whole thing is CC Unit, and even then, that's kind of a low bar. Right, like, as far as I know, so far, the worst thing that CC Unit has done is had some really shitty questions to ask EDP. That's really about it. And it's like, a bad interview is not the same as being a pedophile.
Right.
So, yeah, Chet Goldstein sits on this information until he can make the most amount of money off of it and then uploads it. So people quickly realized, okay, well, he's not doing some sort of altruistic thing. It's just that he sees the opportunity to make a lot of money, and it just so happens that the opportunity to make a lot of money will also get you seen as the good guy. And that's the only reason he's doing an actually good thing in exposing a pedophile. Like, the fact that it was mutually beneficial to the common good and him is the only reason he did it.
Right.
So both their channels get fucking deleted. I don't know what's happened to Chet Goldstein since then. I don't know if he's made a second channel. I don't know if he's doing his own thing. I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about him yet. EDP, however, still has his other social media up. It's just his YouTube that's gone, I think. So his Facebook page is still up. His Facebook page only had like 6,000 fucking followers or something, opposed to his YouTube channel that had 2 million. So after his channel gets taken down, EDP goes to his Facebook and puts out a video and says, hey guys, don't worry, yeah, I know my channel was taken down, that's fine, I'm going to be starting my own website, and I'm going to be putting shit up on there. It's going to be called EDP445.com. And I was like, bro, you shouldn't have said that, because now I'm sure someone owns that domain unless you already owned it. If you didn't already own the rights to that, someone took that immediately. And it's just going to be like a link to, like, it's just going to be a gif of you fucking crying while being called a pedophile. But beside the point. So he says, hey, I'm going to be setting up EDP445.com. The Eat That Pussy movement will continue. Like, he said
The
that.
movement.
Yeah, he described it as a movement. That was a direct quote. Is the Eat That Pussy 445 movement will continue. Which I thought that was funny. Because, I mean, why does that qualify as a movement? What are you moving towards other than, like, the playground? See, Chet, start taking notes. That's how you make a fucking pedophile joke, bitch! So anyway.
Got him.
Yeah, fuck you too, Chet. That's how you do it. So anyway. He says it's the movement, which I don't even know what the fuck that means. So in between that and now, he also put up another video where basically he sort of responded to Chet Goldstein, and there was no substance to it whatsoever. It was basically him essentially just saying, hey, Chet, you're irrelevant. My channel was way bigger than yours, and I've been on YouTube longer than you.
One's bigger, bitch.
Exactly. He's basically just dick measuring.
Just comparing size.
He is. He's like, yeah, dude, I had 2 million subscribers, and I've been on YouTube for 11 years. I've seen so many people that are shitty clout chasers like you. You're not the first, and you're not going to be the last. I'm gonna, like, that kind of thing, right? He's basically just giving him the, I'm the one that will be here when this is all over, like, spiel. And that's kind of all he had to say about it. Like, he didn't address any of the actual substance of the argument. As if, like, Chet was even the one making any argument, which he really wasn't. Because, I mean, it was, well, like, Chet did a real shitty job at conveying his point. But everyone still wants to know what the fuck he has to say about it. Like, he's kind of squandered his chance to defend himself, because the first video he makes after announcing where to find his new videos should be the, hey, this isn't as bad as it looks, or an apology. those are the two things that can get you out of this, like, hot water the quickest. And it was neither. It was attacking the guy that made you look bad.
Yeah.
So it's totally straw manning. Well, it's not straw manning, but it's total fucking ad hominem here, which is weird because it seems like it would actually be super easy to actually, like, make some sort of defense against Chet fucking Goldstein, because, I mean, he did a really bad job here. Honestly, when I was watching the interview, I half thought the best defense here would just double down on Poe's Law and be like, yeah, actually, Chet's in on it. This was just a troll. Right? That's where I would go with it if I was him. I would be like, yeah, he's actually in on it. Don't believe anything he says. He's trolling you. We actually just wanted views. This is all fake. Because how can he disprove that? Because Chet Goldstein has no fucking credibility either. Right? Chet would be like, no, it's all real. And it's like, no one believes what you have to say, bro. Like, the only thing we can believe is the messages, and we don't even know if those are... Like, we know they're not doctored, like, because EDP agreed that those were real when you showed them to him. But, like, that's all we know that's 100% true here. So, I mean, that's what I would do if I was him. I would just be like, you know what? Fuck it. Double down here. The interesting question everyone had after seeing that, though, was, okay, well, does EDP go to prison now? And the funny thing about it is, probably not. Actually, probably not after everything he did. Because all of the sources I could find about it were basically saying, like, yeah, the cops have been given the material from the investigation, but they aren't very optimistic about it. Because, I mean, there are certain, like, there's a lot of legal barriers you need to sort of, I'm not sure what the word is, but there's a lot of requirements for any of that to be admissible in court, and a lot of it apparently won't be, or it's going to be hard to sort of sanitize it into being admissible, to a point where they probably don't have a case against him. So, basically, all it was good for is boosting Chet Goldstein's numbers until his channel got deleted. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah,
I think we
exactly.
all learned something here.
Yeah, I think we all learned something, which is, um, don't.
Fuck everybody. The world sucks. We're all going to
Yeah,
hell.
I think the real lesson is don't try to be the next Chris Hansen if you're just trying to dunk on people. If you're
Or
just trying to
that.
dunk on people, that's fine. Dunking on people is fun, but like, don't try to be like Chris Hansen about it. Don't try to pretend like you're him. How dare you stand where he stood? Like, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, Chet Goldstein already was kind of a fucking. I think I'm comfortable calling him a laughingstock at this point. Like, it's not quite as bad as certain other figures on the internet where everyone just sort of collectively gathers around to laugh at them. But I think he's gonna quickly become it while trying to defend himself here, because for some reason people defending themselves only seem to dig holes for themselves.
Yeah.
Like whenever people try to make some sort of apology video, that gets memed the fuck out, and then just
Yes.
like, dude, there. Even now, James Charles still gets told he looks like fucking Mike Wazowski with two eyes or whatever. Like,
Fuck James Charles.
yeah. Dude, James Charles is still getting fucking outed for being weird and inappropriate with young fans. And here's the thing, his PR is way better. That's why he keeps getting away with this. Dude, fucking James Charles is basically just the living embodiment of that one TikTok audio. I think it's from like Breaking Bad or something, and he's just like, he can't keep getting away with this. Like he does, he just keeps getting away with it. No matter how hard people try, they just keep. James Charles just keeps getting away. I think it's kind of a lost cause to go after him at this point. Everyone that would be morally against him being a pedophile and stop supporting him for it has already done that. So might as well cut losses. But yeah, so EDP probably not getting prison time, at least not for this. I think, in my completely uneducated opinion, the best we see from this is maybe a subpoena, and then they find more, and then if they find more, they can put him in prison, but that's assuming a lot happens, like, towards the sort of prison argument, so I don't really see that going very well. And then obviously there's the whole other thing where Chet Goldstein is also apparently super racist, but I mean that's just I don't even know.
Everybody's racist now, apparently. So,
No, but like here's the thing, right?
like, actually racist or
Like I mean,
stupid woke person racist?
no, I'm talking like actually probably like could be considered classic racist.
Okay. Not like today's standard racist.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no, I'm not talking like the weird like soft definition of racism where it's literally you just have an opinion that I don't like, therefore you are racist. No, I'm
yes.
talking like there are several videos of this dude from his live streams just saying the hard R N word at people.
Oh, okay.
Just being like, dude, the blank are gonna hate this fucking blanks. Like, oh, okay.
Okie doke.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you know what? I'll buy it this time. If you say that dude's you know what? Okay, he's probably racist. Like, if he's over here just dropping N bombs left and right, just trying to antagonize people. I think he had a video at one point where he was just prank calling BLM phone numbers, like BLM fundraiser phone numbers, and just yelling the N word into the phone when they pick up, which is kind of funny, but also very racist. So,
All right. That group sucks. I'm going to say it.
yeah, the BLM
Fuck them.
organization sucks.
Because
I'm okay with the whole
they
actual
picked
idea,
a
but like,
slogan that nobody can argue with.
yeah, it's like
Like, yeah, no shit. Nobody's saying that Black Lives don't matter.
yeah, it's like okay,
No shit. Nobody in the world is arguing against that message.
the only people that are like KKK members, and they are very
Right.
rare. Like, how many KKK members do you think are still active right now? Like maybe 100 at most. That's like a highball for me. I think there's probably about 100. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I
I've
don't
never
know.
looked into it, but
I
that would be my
haven't done
guess.
research. I know it's
Exactly.
not a lot.
I know it can't be many, but like, here's the thing: the premise that Black lives are just as valuable as any other race's lives, I totally agree with.
Yes.
I think any reasonable person agrees. However, I really don't like the organization. I think the organization
Exactly.
suck. I think the
Exactly.
didn't the bitch that founded it just end up like wasn't it just huge headline news that she's not been embezzling funds, but maybe the funds are being misappropriated because she just bought like her fourth fucking house for multi millions amount of dollars. Like she got so rich off of BLM, and it's like,
I'm sure she did.
oh yeah, fucking what's her name? I think it's like Patrice Concolors, something like that. She has a stupid amount of money from BLM, and it's like, great, I guess. Is that really helping? I mean, it's helping you personally. I think if people are donating to your organization, being like, I'm helping fight racism, here's $20, and then you just put all of that money towards buying a fucking sick house, it's like, I mean, is that fighting racism?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. Like, yeah, no, I just bought a really fucking expensive safe space for me to go and contemplate racism in my fucking Superman lair of solitude. Like, okay, great. What a fucking waste. So I think that organization is very shitty, but the slogan is just so fucking manipulative, and that like it's like, how do you
Yeah.
disagree with it, right? It's like, well, I don't disagree with your
So if you say
slogan.
you don't like the organization, everybody's going to jump on you immediately.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. And it's like there's a lot of shit like that, right? It's like,
They know exactly what the fuck they're doing with that slogan.
oh, 100%. It's like there's other shit that does it too, where I mean, it's like you see a lot of environmentalists do it where they're like, yeah, we're trying to save the earth, and it's like, okay, but I disagree with what your methodology.
Right.
It's like, oh, are you
Like,
saying you want to destroy the planet? It's like, no. Obviously,
no.
no, because I live on the planet, you fucking idiot. Like, no, I don't want to destroy the planet that I live on. Why would I do that? I disagree with the way that you're going about saving it.
Right.
I think you being like, yeah, solar panels and wind power, that's the way to go. Meanwhile, it's like,
Not
we're
ready
doing,
for that yet.
yeah, exactly. It's like we're doing it to cut down carbon emissions, and it's like, yeah, but you just shut down a fucking nuclear plant that's carbon neutral,
Right.
and it produces fuck off massive amounts of energy. So now all of the people that were on the power grid the nuclear plant was supplying are now going to have to go to a fucking coal plant instead, and now that's worse for the environment.
Right. One of the ones I hate the most is the people who are against fracking in the USA.
Yeah,
We're still dependent on oil, right?
yeah,
That's not going to change for quite some time.
yeah,
We have to frack somewhere.
yeah.
And we should be doing it here where we have environmental regulations.
That's true. Yeah,
If we don't do it here, we still need the oil. We're still going to get it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to get it from overseas, primarily in the Middle East, where there are no environmental regulations whatsoever. And we're supporting that. So, they're going to set up more fracking stations, more whatever. So, we're pouring money into a country that necessarily really doesn't like us.
yeah,
And there's no regulations.
yeah. I mean, it's like, and the whole thing is like, if we didn't need oil, we could just fucking leave the Middle East. We could just straight up be like, you know what? Fuck it, we're out. We're out.
Right.
The only reason we will come back is if Israel needs help because we're allies with them. Apart from that, fuck it. Right? We are we are straight up done fighting here. No more. We're out of here. We've got better shit to do. But like, here's the thing, right? The people that are like, yeah, we're trying to save the environment. We just shut down a nuclear plant. It's like, if you were pro saving the earth via cutting down carbon emissions, like if carbon emissions are actually the issue like everyone thinks they are, then a nuclear power plant is fucking amazing. Like, the amount of carbon that it doesn't put into the atmosphere compared to what it could be, like the energy return on energy invested for nuclear is fucking unparalleled. It is just objectively the best we have right now. Like, the people that are saying we need to shut those down are massively overestimating how good wind and sun are.
Yeah.
Wind and solar power are not nearly as sophisticated as you think they are. Solar panels right now are a fucking luxury item. You put up solar panels on your house and it's like, great, how much power is this going to save me? It's like basically none. It's like, what do you mean it's basically not saving me anything? It's like, well, I mean, yeah, the problem is it's too conditional, and also it's basically just a backup to the normal power that you're getting pumped into your house. You don't actually power your house off the solar, you just use it as a backup. In the same way that you would use a fucking gasoline generator that you just store in your house in case your power goes out.
Right.
So, like, when is that ever even getting use? When are your solar panels ever even getting use? And they're hella expensive to make, and you're gonna have to fucking do additional upkeep to your roof just to keep them in working order for when the one out of fucking maybe once a year that your power goes out and they get used for like 3 days. Like, our batteries are just not good enough yet to store a meaningful amount of power from solar.
Right.
Like, it's just not happening. So right now, environmentally speaking, the best bet is nuclear. Nuclear power 100% is the best option we have. It is a great middle ground as far as like carbon emissions go. Cuz it's completely carbon neutral, cuz it's literally just a fucking steam plant. Like, it's not like they're burning coal, they're just boiling water with nuclear material. It's like, yeah, we're just getting fucking uranium. I think it's uranium, right? They're using some sort of radioactive material to radiate heat, to heat up water, to rise as steam and turn a turbine. That is about as fucking clean as it gets right now. And the people that are shutting it down are totally just doing it so that they can feel good about themselves. They're like, yeah, I'm helping.
Absolutely.
You're not. You're making the problem worse. You're making the problem way worse. The amount of fucking power nuclear power plants are capable of giving you that you are just immediately turning down for feel-good policy is insane. It really makes no fucking sense. Who is knocking on the wall right now? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? That was super weird. I think my brother just started knocking on the fucking
found
wall.
you.
Yeah, exactly. The fucking the BLM environmentalists found me. I'm gonna fucking die. They're gonna kill me in the name of restorative justice.
I'll post the video, don't worry.
Oh, sweet. So that way when they're done, they can also burn my house down.
I'll post a picture of you on Instagram with some stupid fucking caption. Say his name.
Exactly. Wait, that
I
means...
hate those fucking captions. Say his name. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that means if they're here, all I have to do is stab them and I'll immediately become in the right.
There you go.
Dude, okay, so I think I finally found what I'm going to refer to as the Instagram cheat code.
Sweet.
It's the way to make Instagram not garbage, and it's going to take a while.
Is it
but
possible?
I think I found a good way to do it.
All right.
So basically, I kind of got sick of having to sort through everyone's story when I check it, where it's all this fucking stupid reposting nonsense where they're posting... They just repost a thing, like some activist posts, who clearly has no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Like, they'll be posting about a specific incident and have several super important facts completely wrong. And they're just posting that, spreading that around, forming their opinions based on that. So basically what I decided to do is, if I see someone post something like that, where it's like just super fucking ignorant and annoying, I'm just gonna message them and be like, just ask them, see if they even know what the fuck they're talking about. And if they make a good argument for the position they hold, then nothing happens. Then I'm just gonna be like, okay, cool, you're allowed to disagree with me, that's fine. If they don't, I'm fucking unfollowing you.
Right.
Like, okay, I have nothing to gain by following you. Okay, I'm gone. Later. Like, one of them I already did. It was, I'm not gonna name her name, but it was one of those basic Instagram bitches that's super fucking annoying. And
That's all of them.
Yeah, I know, but like, one of the worst ones. She's just constantly fucking posting annoying shit.
Text me the name.
I'll text you after it's over. I can just tell you.
Right.
So, after she basically posts a thing that some activist put up, like, oh, the Ma'Khia Bryant shooting or whatever. She called the cops and then they showed up and shot her and she wasn't doing anything wrong and she was unarmed or whatever and she was innocent. And I
That's
was like,
never the case. It's never they weren't doing anything wrong.
yeah, and like here's the thing.
At least very rarely.
Especially in this case. Especially in this case. In this case, they got to the fucking scene. The cops showed up to the scene and this girl was in the middle of stabbing another girl and they shot her.
Right.
So it's like, okay, look, if you don't want to
That's
get
wrong.
shot,
Last time I checked, stabbing is wrong.
it's like, here's the thing. The people that think that's racially motivated are legitimately arguing when the cops see a black girl about to stab another black girl, if she wasn't wielding a knife and was just standing there and was like, hello, officer, I would like to give my witness statement now, they would have still shot her, but if it was a white girl stabbing another white girl, they would have stopped and not shot her and either let her get stabbed or disarmed her. Like, the reason she was shot is because she was swinging a knife at someone. They did it to save someone else's life. Straight up, that's just how that went. So I saw she posted this thing. It was like she was innocent, she was unarmed, she was whatever, and I was like, I messaged this girl and I was like, so have you only seen this post about it, or did you actually look at the video? And it's been 2 weeks now and she hasn't responded to it. So I was like, you know what? All right, fuck it. Nope, unfollowed. Like, if you're just gonna be posting this stupid bullshit on your story, and then when I try to see if you even know what you're talking about, you don't even respond, I don't need you in my life. There is nothing that you could possibly say that would be worthwhile for me to hear.
God, I'm really dying to hear who this person is right now.
I got you. I'll text you who it is.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, so that's the Instagram cheat code.
I have an idea.
Yeah, let's see if you're right. I don't know if I spelled it right, but you'll know.
All right.
There you go.
Oh, not what I was expecting.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think my followers list, like the people that I'm following, is just going to be whittled down more and more over time. Because I think a lot of these people have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. They just think they're helping by posting random bullshit that's wrong. Like, I mean, it's so annoying to me. Fucking slacktivism is so annoying to me. Like, I have no fucking tolerance for it.
I didn't know there was a word for it.
Yeah, it's slacktivism. Yeah, it's you're trying to be an activist, or at least give off the affectation.
Without fucking doing anything.
The affectation of being one, but you also don't want to put in the effort to do anything meaningful. It's like it's funny because I first heard that word in relation to the Coney 2012 thing. And it's funny because Coney 2012, it was basically back in 2012, this campaign started to basically, I guess, try to apprehend this Ugandan warlord named Joseph Kony. And it was called the Coney 2012 campaign. And basically, they put together this video on YouTube. They just posted it, and it was an advertisement for, like, a fundraiser to, like, try to apprehend him. And it was, like, basically just a video informing people on all of the awful things that he's done, right? It's like, Ugandan warlord Joseph Kony is over here literally just, like, going into villages and recruiting all of the children as child soldiers and then making them kill their parents and shit. Like, horrible fucking things, right? Like, just being absolute fucking scum. So then everyone, like, that video spread incredibly fast. Like I think it was at most tens of millions of views. Like, that shit was huge. And they were like, yeah, let's all spread awareness. So then they decided to do this thing where they're like, okay, you send us, like, $10 and we'll send you a bunch of posters that you can put up. So basically, everyone is supposed to buy these posters, and then in the middle of the night, you go around your town and hang them up everywhere. So that way, when everyone wakes up to go to school and go to work, there are apprehended Joseph Kony posters all over your city. And I think, like, 1 million people bought posters, and I think at most, like, maybe 2,000 posters got put up. Like, people
Yeah,
bought the posters and then just decided, nah, fuck it, I've done enough. And it's like,
sounds about right.
oh, so clearly you don't care. Clearly you don't give a fuck. You just wanted to feel good about yourself. Okay. And it's funny, that was the first time I heard the term slacktivism get thrown around, because that's exactly what that is.
I like it.
But it's funny because I heard about the Coney 2012 thing from the Internet Historian video he did about it, and he has a great line in there that it's so applicable to all of this shit that's going on now. And he was talking about all of the enthusiasm that everyone had for the movement, and he was like, everyone was down to do whatever it took to get Joseph Kony arrested, so long as it didn't include productive action.
Right.
Like, everyone was down to do whatever it took so long as it wasn't useful. Like, that is exactly what all of the people on Instagram are doing. They're like, I'm helping by posting, and it's like, you're not. You are making
You're not
things
doing
worse.
shit. You're on your ass on your phone.
Yeah, it's like, listen, you just sitting around using Instagram all day, deciding to just fucking invent some new pronouns is not helpful. It's not. That isn't helping shit. Like, listen, I'm not saying people need to be helpful and people on Instagram have some sort of moral obligation to do good.
No,
But
just stop saying you are.
stop patting yourself on
Stop
the
saying
back
you're
for it.
doing that.
Exactly.
Right.
Stop being so fucking self-congratulatory about nothing. That's what I don't like, right? When I see people posting shit that has nothing to do with how they're making a difference in the world and making the world a better place day by day, when it's just literally just, here's some shit I did, it's way better. That's shit that I actually like because I'm like, oh, cool. Good for you. Like, that's what I actually like seeing.
Right.
If I see
Just
some
cool
shit.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if I see some shit where it's like, oh, here's a cool thing, or just, here's what I've been up to, it's like, oh, that's cool. I like it.
I haven't gotten the chance to post it yet. And I'm finishing up a staircase I made for my dog.
Oh, nice. You made a
She's getting old.
staircase?
She can't make the jump up to my bed anymore in the morning.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Now you just got to train her to be your alarm clock.
I do.
Yeah, we have a thing. We have a thing with my dog where my brother wakes up by having our dog just jump on him. So basically,
That's
like,
a great idea.
yeah, so like basically my mom will wake up earliest in the house, right? And you know, the dog is constantly just following her around because she's the one that feeds it usually. So basically, she'll feed. I'm gonna say his name because it's weird that I'm referring to him like he's so fucking. All right, so my dog is named Sucre, right? So she'll be like, all right, come on, Sucre, I'm gonna go feed you or whatever. So then she feeds him, and then she'll be like, all right, Logan needs to get up for school, and then she'll just go, Sucre, good morning, Logan, and then he'll just run up the stairs and then just go jump on top of Logan on his bed.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then she was like, oh, I could probably get him to do that to you too, and I was like, fuck no, don't do that.
You know what? Now that I think of it, I'm following your dog on Instagram, and he's more interesting than 99% of the accounts I follow.
Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, see, that's what Instagram should be. It should just be like, here's some pictures of my dog.
Right. I made an account for my fucking dog.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I hear some people saying, like, oh, dude, having an account for your pet is corny. It's like, who fucking cares, bro? You know what's really corny?
Not just the shit.
Pretending like you're single-handedly fucking saving the world by reposting some idiot's fucking slideshow. That's corny. Like, don't pretend like you are somehow fucking above me. Like, no. No, I refuse to fucking hold that out.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm mad at this person. I'm gonna see what kind of stupid shit they have in their story today.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, look, if
Let's check it out.
it, like the I guess the way I sort of philosophize it is, if I message them something and they make like an argument that's like well thought out or well constructed or at least makes sense, even if I disagree with it, I won't unfollow them, right? Because like just disagreeing with someone doesn't mean you can't interact or have meaningful
Right.
conversations.
As long as they're not annoying as all fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Like I already had someone. This was before I started doing it, but someone ended up actually messaging me something about what was on my story, and I was like, basically just like, okay, well, I guess we disagree. That's fine. I'm still following him. Like, because it was just like, hey, I disagree with that thing you put on your story, and I'm like, you have a fair point, but still, and it's
Oh
like,
my
okay,
god, look
cool.
at that. They didn't post on their story today.
Oh fuck yeah, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see
I
when these
think that's
people
the
are
first time I've ever seen that.
finally quiet. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the I got one more thing while we're on the topic of people posting stupid shit on their Instagrams, and then we should probably wrap up.
Alright.
So, I was scrolling through one person's Instagram story. I think it was like maybe 2 days ago, and she's very like basic Instagram thought, right? She doesn't go for the activism type thing as much. Sometimes I'll still see that occasionally, but
It's
a lot of
everyone in our fucking high school.
yeah, but a lot of it is more just her being slutty. Like that's way
Still
more.
most of the people from our high school.
That's true. That's true. So basically, she had one of those fucking Instagram like story, I guess, ask me a question or something, right? Like it was one of those ones where it has a text box that you can just enter something and they'll see it, and then they can put it on their story like what you said. So the first couple things were completely normal, and it was literally just like the text box was just like hi, and then just put your text here. So it was just like put whatever you want. It wasn't even like ask me something. It was just like just say something. So I'm scrolling through the responses, and she puts one up on screen that just says nice rack.
What the fuck?
And I was like, okay, that's a solid comment. That's a pretty good comment. She just goes hi, and he just goes nice rack. Like, you know what? I can
Was
get
he
behind
right?
it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give him the yeah, he's correct. And she her response to that was like she was upset that he said it. Like she,
Why would you feature it then?
well, yeah, that was the thing is I was talking to my girlfriend about it later, and I was like here's the thing. She posted a bunch of text that was like, "Oh, I can't believe this guy would do this." And then she actually included the dude's name. She was like, "It was this guy that said it. He's telling everyone. He's showing everyone how not to get laid or something, right?" It was something like that. And I was like, "Okay, the thing that gets me is not only that she constantly posts pictures of herself with her titties basically just bouncing out of her shirt. And then as soon as the dude is like, "Hey, nice titties," she's like, "I can't believe you. I can't believe you would do that. What a fucking pervert." Like again, like why would you but then the thing that really hung me up was why would you feature it then? That was exactly my thought was if it was so gross, why
Right.
would you put it why would you let everyone see that he did
Use
that?
it for clout.
Yeah, why would you do that if not to show, wow, look how hot he thinks I am and how indignant I am about it? Like, that's even more shallow. Like, what? What the fuck? What are you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Like, honestly, what the fuck? So then the best is I kept scrolling through after that, and then, like, 2 or 3 pictures later, it was literally a mirror selfie of her wearing a tank top and short shorts. And then the next one was the same thing but from behind, and her ass is literally half hanging out of her short shorts. I was like, how can you be upset, right? If you're posting pictures like that, how can you be upset that dudes are giving you compliments? I get if you don't want compliments from dudes. You like you don't need to be receiving compliments from dudes. It's not their place, right? But at the same time, if you are showing it off, don't expect to not get comments on it.
Right.
It's like, all right, if I was posting pictures of myself just fucking naked on Instagram before they get
Do it.
taken down, yeah, exactly. I'll
Start an
fucking
OnlyFans.
yeah, exactly. If I started an OnlyFans and started selling my fucking nudes, and then people were like, "Hey, you're hot," I wouldn't be like, "Oh, why would you? I can't
Fuck
believe you.
you,
I can't believe you objectifying me." It's like,
piece of shit.
well, no, you objectified yourself. They're just participating in you objectifying yourself. Like, if you don't want that, then don't objectify yourself, and then it's completely unwarranted, right? Like, if you go to someone's Instagram and they barely have any pictures of themselves, right? And it's like, and if all of the pictures they have of themselves are like tasteful, and then someone's like, "Hey, nice tits," it's like, all right, well, that guy's just being an asshole. Like, the dude in the first example is just pointing out the obvious. This dude is just being a dick. Like, there's a difference here. They're not the same thing. They're not even adjacent. Like,
It's all context.
yeah, exactly. It is straight up contextual. If your whole Instagram page is fucking dedicated to you being slutty and then someone is willing to participate in that with you and then you get upset at them, it's really your own fault. And then you use them participating in it to clout chase. Like, it's so fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. All right, I think that's a good place to leave this episode.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate you sticking around if you watched this long. Um, I mean, yeah, I guess we're. I'm gonna try to be uploading more regularly, so that'll be cool. I just put up the montage yesterday that I talked about in the last episode. It took longer than I thought, but I finally put it up, and it did better than I expected. So that's
Nice.
been cool. It's already up to like 10 views, and I uploaded it like yesterday.
Is it on your channel or
It's on my
the
personal one.
podcast channel?
No, it's not on
Your
the
personal.
podcast one. It does link to the podcast though. Like
Okay, cool.
I put the link to the podcast in the description of that one. So when I upload this, I'll include the link to the montage in case anyone is wondering about that. But I'm gonna stop wasting everyone's time now. So thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe. That'd be really cool. I will see you all next week.